Tonight on the game show, we're going to talk about our favorite Flash games of all time. You know the games, pull them up. We're going to talk about the ones that were fun and that we enjoyed for all time. What are your favorite Flash games? I'd like to see. But without further ado, let's check out Flash games. What's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on February 11th, 2026. How's it going, Jack?
Going great. It is February. It is almost Valentine's Day, and ready for a fun weekend this time.
Love is in the air. Love is in the air. And Jess, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a crazy week, as per usual, but still good.
Awesome. And Logan,
Nice.
rocking the leather jacket. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Yeah, it's also been like a crazy week, very busy, but it's been good. Yeah. Played more Subnautica last weekend. That was fun.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Very, very cool. I'm stoked. We're broadcasting an AV1 codec for the first time. I finally upgraded from my 3060 Ti that I got during the pandemic in 2020 because I needed it. And I exported something that took 2.5 hours or 3 hours, and it took, what was it, like 5 minutes? It was ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty excited about the editing capabilities. Apparently plays games too. We'll see. No, I'm super stoked to utilize it. It also has the 420 decode for editing, which up until the 5 series only Max did.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty big leap for editing, and I definitely noticed it when I was putting together the pre-show thing tonight.
That's awesome.
Like there's no delay, so I'm pretty stoked. I was telling him how the support that came with it was terrible, and I was screwing it in it so hard, and no matter what I would do, I'd have it and then it'd go and it kept sagging, and I was like,
Kept sagging.
it kept sagging. So I got a different one, and now it is fully supported. It's
That's
fab.
awesome.
The other thing I noticed is, so for the NVIDIA broadcast background removal, my eyes don't look like red anymore. They actually have the white there.
Oh,
So
Wow.
they were a weird flicker before.
That's weird. I hadn't noticed that, man.
Yeah,
Now that
so,
you brought it up, I have to go
I
back and
hadn't-
watch some old videos.
Yeah, it just looks like
you saying
slightly.
you're a vampire in the old
It's
videos?
not. Well, I am a vampire,
Oh,
but also there was something weird in my eyes. So
Weird.
let's get down to it here. Since 2002, the game show is a celebration of video games and our collective interest mixed with a healthy dose of humor. And tonight we're going to be talking about Flash games, which is going to be an interesting topic here. I haven't thought about a lot of these for a very long time. But before that, let's dive in to some updates. Jack, take it away.
Man, it's been I won't say a slow week in video game news, but not a whole bunch going on. DICE is happening this week, so I suspect there's going to be some more news as we kind of get to the end of the week. Deals getting made, people starting to talk over drinks and stuff like that. But one of the cool things that did come out, or maybe cool like what ifs of all time in video games. Apparently, there's a story out that Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear fame once talked to Vince Zampella, the founder of Respawn, recently deceased, rest in peace. He talked to him about having Respawn make a Metal Gear shooter slightly after Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. And now, ooh. I'm a huge Respawn fan. Titanfall 2 are amazing.
Yes.
All of and like, you know, the work they did on Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 were incredible. But just the thought of a Metal Gear shooter made by that team kind of makes me really wish for a what if scenario. That would have been super cool if that had actually come to pass. But, you know, alternate universe, maybe somebody will find out what that would have been.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
They could still do it.
Yep. They could. Although
I mean, Konami would have to like be okay with it, which
and I think you'd have to actually convince EA to tell them to let Respawn do something other than making Apex Legends or Star Wars Jedi games.
That's true.
Yeah.
EA.
Not that I'm complaining about either one of those things, but
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So it would have been really cool. See, next on my list, PlayStation. There's a state of play scheduled for tomorrow evening. There's a lot of speculation about what could be on there. They've got a few games in the hopper that are coming out pretty soon. One of them that won't be there, though, is Wolverine. Apparently, they're going to save that for some later state of plays later this year. But I believe they are going to focus a lot on Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So,
okay.
Yeah, if you're a big fighting game fan, if you're a Marvel fan, check it out. I think some of the characters that are going to be in it leaked a little early. They were planning on announcing them tomorrow night. So if you're a big fighting game fan or you like Marvel, check it out tomorrow night. I'm sure there's going to be some other stuff too, but I think that's going to be the main focus. I think they're saying it's going to be about a half an hour long. Are any of you guys really excited for Tokon Fighting Souls at all?
I always am excited for the new fighting games, so I'm pretty stoked for it.
It's one of those games where like I really like when they announced it, I was like, okay, cool. And like the more and more they've gotten into it, I was like, yeah, but could you just go make a Marvel versus Capcom 4? Would it just kill you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I definitely hear you there. But it does look, I mean, it's going to be kind of fun to play.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for something new too, because let's be honest, Marvel versus Capcom 3 and even Infinite were kind of just a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get, especially with fighting games.
Arc system works. We'll do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. In less exciting news,
I like the art style.
Yeah, art style looks really great. Like
it's very comic booky.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So in less exciting news, Riot Games has downsized the 2XKO team, another fighting game based on Riot Games franchises. They had a really disappointing launch. I guess it didn't really catch on like they were hoping it would, and so they basically laid off a sizable portion of the team, which is really disappointing because their whole pitch was, back when it was I think called Rising Thunder, it was going to be like a very easy to understand, easy to learn, difficult to master fighting game. And just for whatever reason, probably because it's based on League of Legends, just never really caught on. And so it's a shame that a lot of those folks are now looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stinks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. But next, so Blizzard, in more exciting news, Blizzard is reportedly teaming up with Nexon, the publishers of Arc Raiders, for an unannounced StarCraft shooter. So that should be interesting. I don't know if any of you have played Arc Raiders yet, but it's a really interesting, I'm not a huge fan of the, what are they calling them? The extraction shooters, like Arc Raiders is, but I can't deny, the game looks pretty cool and it's found an audience. And so being able to do that in the midst of all the other games that are out there, like Call of Duty, Apex, as mentioned earlier, there is, in Battlefield for that matter, I think it's pretty interesting that they've been able to carve something out, and I'm all up for seeing something new in the StarCraft universe. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. I would love to see. I'm, gonna be the aliens. Shoot lasers.
You want some more Protoss action?
Yes, I'm always Protoss.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what comes out of that. But yeah, nothing official announced. But yeah, we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Yeah, see if more kind of trickles out, especially after DICE.
Did they say anything else besides shooter? Like just
the only thing was just that Nexon was going to help them out with that. So we'll see. And now, granted, it's just the publisher of Arc Raiders. It is not the Arc Raiders team that's going to be doing it, but it is certainly interesting. Like they're also the team behind like Dave the Diver and other things like that. So we'll see. And my last little bit of news I've got here is Tekken 8 Season 3 has been announced. And you all know that I am a huge Tekken fan, especially Tekken 8 is amazing. Season 3 should be fun for fans of the series. They're going to bring back Kunimitsu, Bob, and Roger Jr., everybody's favorite fighting kangaroo. So very excited to see Roger Jr. back. Bob's a fun character. Kunimitsu kind of whatever, but I'm very excited to have Roger back. And there is also one more mystery character to be announced, and I would guess that's probably going to get announced around Evo, because this roster of 3 characters won't get released until like I don't think Kunimitsu even starts to get released until the spring of 26. So it's going to take a little while to get through that season, but I'm excited. They did say they're going to get back to basics on some of the balance stuff. So hopefully we have a lot of people that kind of faded away from Tekken after season 1 come back and kind of get things going again. It's a great Tekken game, and everybody should check it out.
I faded away. Maybe I should unfade. Fade in.
You should. You can play as Heihachi now. God is back in the game.
I've always been a Hurong. Kick.
Hwarong's really great. He's a lot of fun if you know how to use those kicks, man, and the stances.
Yeah. No, I love the stance. They'd be so frustrating too. Like when you really get going with the kicks, it really makes people mad.
I mean, I don't remember. We probably weren't doing the show at this point in time, but did anybody see when Tekken 8 first came out and Eddie was in, that they had people that were just, they had a bot that basically just did the low kicks, and they just had a bot streaming it on Twitch. It would just do random matchmaking, and it would see how many, like you could just watch it, and it was just Eddie doing low kicks the entire game, just nonstop presses, and it would just beat like half the players it would come across, and it was so funny to watch. It was just like, okay, is this person any good? Oh nope, they lost. Like that, Eddie does it again. But you would see like people either learn in real time as they were figuring out what was going on, or B, they were a Tekken pro and they would just like get hit once, and then it was just destruction because they knew exactly what he was doing the entire time. It was a fascinating like 3-week period where I was watching it on Twitch a lot. Yeah.
It's too bad you couldn't hear the audio on the other side.
Yeah, I think it's still going, but it was pretty fun around the launch.
Cool. Well, I might have to check it out again. Maybe on my 37 or 5070 Ti.
Yeah.
I need a recommendation. What will show off the power the best?
Ooh. I mean, I'm going to be a little partial to like Resident Evil 4 or 2 because of what I've been playing lately. Like Resident Evil 2 came out in 2019, and man, that still looks great on my card. Like I pumped all the dials and knobs all the way up, and it looks great even for a 7-year-old game now at this point.
Cool. Yeah, I just for whatever, I launched Halo Infinite and bumped up all the settings and turned on ray tracing and had it super scale 4K back down to 1440p, and it was still maxing out frame rate.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was exciting going from a 3060 Ti, which could walk. Now we can run.
I'd say Alan Wake 2 is another really good one. There's some great texture.
Oh, that's the one. I'm gonna do that one. I love the Resident Evils. I've just already played them. I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet. There we go.
Yes.
Thank you.
You need to do it. And then I need to talk to you about We Sing.
Okay. Sounds good. In my problem, right, of playing it on the TV, I got a really long HDMI cable. that I'm going to figure out how to run and not look terrible.
Nice.
How long is your HDMI cable?
100 feet.
Whoa, that's
Fiber
only
optic.
mine.
Fiber optic,
Okay,
no
I was
delay.
gonna say that you're like pushing it there, man. The 100,
Yeah.
like anything over 30 feet, and I start to get worried with HDMI.
Yeah, it's fiber optic. It has like a repeater, but there's no lag.
Nice.
So anyway,
Cool.
we'll see what happens. It's gonna take, and I have also a really long USB cable, so I can plug my controller in because I wanted to take advantage of it. So, all right, let's get into Jess's updates without further ado.
So my first update is that I finally saw Iron Lung, even though the universe kind of didn't want me to.
Who didn't
I
want you
attempted
to?
to go the universe, apparently.
Oh, the universe. Okay, yeah, I
or
getcha.
alternatively, whoever pulled the fire alarm in the theater the first time I attempted to go. And it was perfect timing too, because we'd gotten about halfway into the film when it happened, and like there was like flashing on the screen a bit, and like it was in the middle of flashbacks, and then the lights around us started flashing, and so it took a solid minute for anyone to realize what was actually going on. And then we realized that it was the fire alarm, and we had to exit, and did not get to see the rest of the movie that night. And I was really, really bummed because I really wanted to see it, and I didn't think I was going to have time to go back on a different day. But I managed to carve out some time in the middle of the afternoon on Monday, and I went by myself, which I always forget how much fun going to the movies by yourself actually is.
Mhm.
Oh, it's fun.
Like I would have preferred to have been able to see it with my friends, but like I was like, oh yeah, right. Sitting in a movie theater by yourself is also a very fun time. I thought it was really good. Especially with what I know he was working with the game, I thought he expanded it in a very interesting way. He did a good job of like maintaining suspense. I appreciated it greatly. I thought it was a great movie. And yeah, it looks like it made another $6 million for its second weekend.
That's awesome.
And reports are looking like total worldwide, he made like $35.2 million on it.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Which is not too bad considering it was in theaters for 2 weeks.
No,
Yeah.
it's amazing, and it's a big bright spot right now with everything that's going on. It's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And with a rumored $3 million budget, that's like 11 times what they spent on it, with no marketing, no traditional marketing, no traditional distributor. So really crazy, really amazing.
It just means so much for what the modern landscape could be
Yeah.
of non-AI schlock.
Yeah.
And I would highly suggest, if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, to look at some of the interviews he's done around it, and kind of the way that he was able to kind of figure out how to make it work for him. I think he toes a very good line of talking about independent filmmakers and trying to encourage people, but then also, recognizing that he is in a very unique position of having as many subscribers that are as into everything that he does, and kind of that built-in audience. There was a really good episode of The Town, which is a great podcast for filmmaking in general, that he was on. But it's really cool to hear him talk about it, because you can just tell how much he really cares about the movie making process and how much doing this meant to him, which is also just really refreshing to hear.
Awesome.
really
I'll have
cool.
to check that podcast out. That episode.
Moving on to even more adaptations in the video game world, it was announced this past week that Baldur's Gate is getting a TV show with Craig Mazin, who did The Last of Us on HBO. I do not know how to feel about it. And so I reserve any sort of judgment.
I would say, in which way are you worried they're gonna not come through with it, or it's not gonna be what you want?
I just don't know what they're exactly planning on doing. It seems like it's supposed to be set after the games, and they're saying there's going to be some of the characters that we know, but some new characters. I saw an interview that said that Craig Mazin was interested in reaching out to some of the voice actors to see if they were interested in some capacity. So
good.
So some good stuff on that end. I just, at present time, I don't understand what the story is going to be.
Yeah.
and what the goal of it is, especially since it's, it's not like The Last of Us that's adapting the actual story from the game into a different medium. It's like picking things up. So I just don't know where they're going with it, so I don't have like any super strong opinions. I'm hopeful, but past that, I'm reserving judgment until more information is available.
It could be good. I'm always worried when they like take everything out of the game that you like, and it's like a husk, you know. But it could still be good. I think you're right to reserve judgment, but it is, worrying when they do that.
I will say, I think I know what the goal of it is, though. I mean, the goal is Last of Us is ending after season 3, so I needed a new vehicle to keep pushing things forward with HBO.
For sure.
Also,
I just hope the vehicle drives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and, there have been examples of how to do, like, D&D movies and TV shows well, and there are examples on how not to do it. And so I'm hopeful that we can lean into what makes it so much fun and avoid some of the pitfalls that don't serve the stories. So again, we'll wait and see.
Marlon Wayans leading the charge, right?
That's a direction. And then, in addition to that, another announcement that I believe was just made today, Helldivers is getting a movie with Jason Momoa starring, and it's got a release date set for November of 2027.
They won't, but they totally should get Paul Verhoeven to be the director. I mean, that's the only person you can get to do a Helldivers movie at this point in time. Maybe you could get Edgar Wright, but it's Paul Verhoeven, and I won't take anybody else's suggestions.
It's just nice that like video game movies aren't always terrible now.
Yeah.
Or shows.
Isn't it?
Like they're actually really good, and it's nice. They deserve that.
Sonic was a turning point.
Sonic was great, but I think there was some good ones before that are escaping me. Were there? Sonic was great. All 3 of them.
I think Sonic
original
for me
Mortal
was the
Kombat,
point where they started consistently being able to be expected to be not terrible.
There you go. I give you that. I like the original Mortal Kombat.
Sonic proved. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think Sonic proved to the executives that it could be really profitable if they did it well.
Yeah.
And I think it like shined the light to allow for more attempts.
Yeah,
that allows for there to be more good ones.
I agree. I think it changed the perception. I think you're right. And it's just unfortunate that perception existed. But
yes,
I'm glad that it's no longer there. Awesome. All right. Well, let me get into my updates then. I've got a couple, and then I want to talk about something cool. So this is not cool. At least 1,200 Ubisoft workers are striking in response to the recent restructuring. And the quote here, at this stage, it seems clear to us. I'm not going to read the name. Do you know that is pronounced that?
Ruchle? Or Yves Guillemot?
There you go.
Yep.
Has no, I would butcher it, so I'm not going to try. Has no knowledge or understanding of its company or its employees. So the company is continuing its cost reduction layoff plan. Our teams are already working under pressure and often understaffed. After several years without pay rises or very small increases, we understand that once again employees will not receive a raise this year. The strikes are also in response to Ubisoft's return to office mandate requiring staff to work on site 5 days a week. And in September 24, more than 700 workers at Ubisoft France went on a 3-day strike in response to this policy. So again, more bad news about, I'm glad that they're standing up for themselves, but bad news about the firings.
I can't make heads or tails of Ubisoft right now. They've got they're in so much financial peril right now that it's good that they're still open, but at the same time, you need your employees. Doing dumb shit like this is not a good way to keep them.
It's not going to be good. Yeah, I feel you on that. And then a small update. According to Tom Warren of The Verge, PC Game Pass and Premium might merge. There isn't information on what the pricing or much beyond it will be. But honestly, I'm just glad that Xbox or Microsoft is looking into ways to be strategic with Game Pass, because I really think Game Pass, especially, before in the last year was really a nice consumer-facing, gamer-facing thing. And if they could be strategic about it and figure out a way to really make it work, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like it really is, to your point, one of the better ideas Microsoft's had over the last 10 years. Yep. And I really, notwithstanding the recent price increases, I think there's a lot more they can do with it, especially if they want to keep people in that ecosystem, especially if they're more concerned with PC than Xbox necessarily. This is certainly a step that could go in the right direction, assuming it doesn't come with too restrictive like price increases. Yep,
for sure. It's the closest we've come to the Netflix of games, I think.
Yeah,
Game Pass.
And they've got the Microsoft first party offerings that are on there are great, and some of the third party offerings they have on there are really good too. There's some not great stuff on there, but like the EA Pass, the Ubisoft Pass, all that stuff that comes with it is great. And if you're a Fortnite player, it makes a lot of sense because you get Fortnite crew with it too.
Awesome. Cool. Jack, did you hear that they're making a college basketball video game?
Say that again?
They're making a college basketball video game?
No, I didn't hear that.
So EA announced first for 2028, and then 2K has announced one for 2027.
Interesting.
Trying to undercut it. 2K is apparently not going to have as many teams, but it's still going to be, I think, a significant amount of teams. So.
As long as they have like a create a team kind of thing. Or, really, you need to have 64 teams and then kind of what else after that?
Yeah, right? I think they'll have those. So that'll be cool. But anyway, I saw that. I was looking up, I was watching some games lately. And I was like, man, I really wish, will they ever make another college basketball game? And so they are, apparently. So that'll be exciting. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about. I wasn't going to get one, but I'm probably going to end up selling it later because I've sold all of my analog things, but they did a little limited edition run of the analog 3D in different colors. And I was like, well, if I can get one, I'll get one, thinking I probably wouldn't be able to. But I was able to get one, and it came really, really fast, like in a day. And I tried it out. It's actually pretty awesome. I think it's the best system that they've made. It has some of the, if any of you have seen any of the videos on it, the N64, the color mode originally is 32-bit, and then it has to convert to 16-bit before it goes out, and that causes a lot of degradation of the color. And the visuals. It makes things smeary, it makes things blurry, and you can actually notice, I noticed a significant difference. Some people, their mileage may vary, but it's interesting to go through the games and kind of see how things, were before they go through that processing. On Ocarina of Time, like the details on his tunic and stuff, you can see those much more clearly. And you can do other things. You can turn the blur off, which of course you want to do, and then you can also turn off texture filtering, which you may not want to do that. And then you can turn off the anti-aliasing, which is also, I think, kind of up to preference. I actually think it works pretty well. But anyway, I think it works like really, really well. And the 4K output is really, really great, and the CRT filters are pretty good too. So but the best feature of all is the overclocking. Because it still has like the original Xbox N64 hardware, so it's not going to go off and be crazy like emulation, but you can overclock the CPU, you can overclock the RAM, and you can overclock the GPU, and you can overclock like just the RAM, or just the RAM and the CPU, or all three. And when you do all three, you get some pretty awesome like frame rates that I can actually tolerate.
I was just about to ask, can you make Turok not a stuttery mess? Or
I haven't tried Turok, but some Max was mentioning Shadows of the Empire. I did try Shadows of the Empire, and it plays really smooth.
Huh.
Like it I'm not sure exactly. I didn't do a frame rate analysis, but the regular version's like 11 to 13 frames a second or something, and it was definitely smooth. It did make me nauseous. So, because the 11 to 13 does make me nauseous, but and there's a patch for Mario 64 to play in 60 frames per second, and it can hit that. So it's just really fun to play games that otherwise I wouldn't be able to play because they would literally make me nauseous because of the frame rate.
Yeah.
Gauntlet Legends is a solid 60 without any patches or anything.
That's interesting. What is Perfect Dark? Because I have to imagine that, like, even with the RAM expansion on the original, it was bad.
It's significantly better. So is GoldenEye. It's not going to play like a modern game, but it's a very noticeable improvement. And then if you're playing a game too, everything loads much quicker when you have all that overclocked. I'm a sucker for the N64 version of NBA Hang Time, because I used to play it a lot with my neighbor, and I loaded that up. And it's super sharp for one, like there's no blur or anything on it. It looks like you're, playing a super sharp game, but everything loads super, super quick. I haven't found anything wrong with it yet.
That's awesome.
You can also turn it on with the controller. Just like a real really console. Cool. Yeah. So if you have any interest in it, I think it's probably the best thing they've done. So, and maybe I'll hang on to it. We'll see. All right, let's get into Flash games. That's the topic of the evening. I'm excited to talk about some of these. And I'm going to start out with V. 6 V's. I counted.
Yep, you're good. You're good.
I counted it. So V. That was too many. It was a Flash game, and it eventually got ported over to different things. I didn't play it when it was a Flash game, but I think it still counts because it started as a Flash game, so I hope so. And I also want to talk about it because I love it. It's a very, very simple game. The graphics are almost Atari level. It's like super, super simple. And you can
almost say like Odyssey.
Maybe Odyssey. Okay, even there. And you kind of go... You can manipulate the gravity. You kind of go up and down, and it's a basic platformer. And it's addicting and it's fun. But it has one of my favorite stories about grad school too. So we had this class where you were there from like 8 to 5, and that's a long time. And it wasn't 508, Jess. But we were sitting in there for a really, really long time. I had my laptop, and I was playing significant amount of V in that game, in that class. And my friend next to me was diligently taking notes and not playing games. And we got a 30-minute lunch break. So during the 30-minute lunch break, the professor calls my friend over and sort of berates him for not paying attention and being on his laptop. Meanwhile, I have nearly gone all the way through V and get nothing. And luckily he didn't out me. He very easily could have said, like, he was playing a game the whole time. And I felt bad for him because he was actually doing what he was supposed to do. But V, besides being a fun game, will always remind me of that and the frustration of my friend.
That's a great story. I will always remember V, or what? It's 6 V's. Anyway,
it's close enough.
I will always remember it for the soundtrack. Like, it has
it's good.
Such an amazing soundtrack. Like that it's one of the first things I picked up on Apple Music, or maybe it wasn't even Apple Music. It was, I can't remember. But anyway, I picked it up, and like just for the 2 main songs it's got on there, the soundtrack's incredible. It's just like, there's like 2 main songs, and they loop throughout the entire thing, and like you never feel like it's getting old. It's great.
It's funny. I didn't get to hear. Soundtrack. I didn't get to hear those songs in the class.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't played it, you should check it out. I'm sure it's super cheap now on Steam or whereas. But fun game.
See, I know I have it in my library.
Jack, take the one that I wanted.
All right, I guess so. So I think this is, for anybody that's played Flash games, this is the Flash game to end all Flash games. Yeah. Alien Hominid. If you ever spend any time on Newgrounds, you know what Alien Hominid is. It's the game that launched the Behemoth, the amazing studio behind such gems as Alien Hominid for console, Castle Crashers, Battle Block Brigade, or Battle Block Theater. There are so many amazing games, or I won't say so many, but there are a lot of amazing games that the Behemoth put out, and Alien Hominid was really their first real foray into seeing what they could do with Flash and just proving that they had game design chops. And it's for a Flash game that was out in the early 2000s. It's incredible. Like it's really awesome to see what they did and what they were able to do with the technology at the time. And Alien Hominid's a lot of fun. There's some depth to it, and it's funny too. So if you have any kind of nostalgia, or if you like any of those other games that they've made since then, I highly recommend you go back and check out Alien Hominid. It is a great little like Contra-esque shooter.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. When it came out on consoles, it got a bit of an upgrade, didn't it? It wasn't
they did release an HD one for the Xbox 360, but when it came out on like the GameCube and the PS2, yeah, they made it longer. They gave it a lot of extra levels and kind of stretched it out. But yeah,
that was a great game. Cool. It kind of reminded me of like a Nicktoon from like the 90s. Like you're playing kind of like a Nicktoon. I love the art style and everything of it. But when I think of Flash games, like that is the Flash game I think of, because that's probably the one I played the most of. And when I was going to our list to type it in, I was sad when I couldn't type it in.
Yeah.
So, all right, Logan. What's your first one?
It's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah, so-
No, I'm in all seriousness, it's totally fine. I'm glad that you got it. We just get to talk about it. It's fine.
Cool. My first one is Bloons Tower Defense 5, which is the thumbnail game for today. And I still play this game, although it's not the Flash version anymore. They've since ported it to other engines for like mobile and PC. But back in the day, it was Flash, and I played it back when it was Flash. And I've played Bloons Tower Defense since like 3 was the current game that was out, and boy, there's just something satisfying about weaponizing monkeys throwing darts to kill tons of balloons coming down a track. Like, those games can get insane with just the sheer number of balloons that it shoves down the path, and like eventually you're just constantly hearing popping sounds. It's a little bit like ASMR in that way. But like the strategies can get equally insane for how to deal with it all, because you're using like god level monkeys with like super abilities to pop all these balloons like it's life or death. It's amazing, and I love the premise so much.
It's a fun little game. Like my son loves tower defense games, and like Bloons is right up there with it. Like that's, I don't know if it's 5 or 6, but whichever one is the latest one, he's played just all the time. If I catch him on his iPad, usually that's what he's playing.
Yeah, 6 is the latest one. That one was the first one that was developed off of Flash completely, and it's like 3D and everything. I haven't played too much of that. I've been mainly sticking with 5, but yeah, I've played a little bit of 6.
Cool. Yeah, it looks fun. I saw a video of that when I was looking up different Flash games. Couldn't talk about it since I haven't played it, but very cool.
It's fun.
All right, and before we head on to Jess, I should mention next week we'll have Jeremy Parrish on the show, which I'm very excited about. He's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure I started looking at his stuff on like oneup.com in like 2008, but it could have been even earlier than that. And I've always loved Retronauts. And then his new stuff is amazing. The Nestwork series and all the works. And his books, he's a writer, lots of stuff. So that'll be fun. All right.
Jeremy's someone that's been around for a while. I'm really excited to talk to him next week.
Yes. Yeah, I love his perspective on things. So, all right, Jess, hit us with your first one.
So I played a ton of Flash games as a kid and as a teenager. And the ones that I remember the most, there was the website Cool Math Games.
Yeah.
And very few of the games on that website had anything to do with math at all. But because it was called Cool Math Games, you could sometimes get away with playing it in the computer lab if you had finished all of your work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So my favorite on all of those was Learn to Fly, which is you are this tiny little penguin who has stumbled across a Wikipedia article that is saying that penguins are flightless birds, and he's very upset about this fact. And so you have to help him figure out how to fly. And it's, you know, one of those very repetitive of like, you launch off of a cliff and you fall pretty quickly, but you get a little bit of money every time you do it, and you could buy upgrades and like hang gliders and all those kind of things. And it's just the kind of game that felt very like, it felt like you were always making progress, even when you failed. And no matter how bad you were at things, you were always going to succeed eventually, because eventually you just have enough money to buy enough that you beat the game. And there were 3 of the games. At the end of the first one, you like succeeded, and then you like crashed into a giant iceberg. And so the whole point of the second one is you're doing it again, and you've got like missiles and stuff to blow up icebergs and eventually get the revenge on the iceberg that stopped you the first time around. And then the third one is, instead of flying like horizontally, you're now trying to go to space, and so it's like a vertical type of thing. But I feel like that's probably the one I played the most of, and still to this day, I think 2's the best of them, because it took everything from 1 and improved it. And to my remembering, 3 got a little bit like, because we were kind of out of the Flash games at that point, and it got a little like microtransaction-y, and like there were options to buy things, and it kind of just ruined the whole
kills
vibe.
Everything.
But it really does. But 2 is solid, and I actually played a little bit, just anticipation for this, because I was thinking about them all and was like, no, this is still really fun.
Cool. I have a feeling I don't think I've played almost any of the ones on your list, so I'm pretty excited because it's going to add a bunch for me to check out. So that's pretty exciting, and I love playing the games when you're not supposed to. I mean, that's pretty much.
I have not played. I have not played Learn to Fly, but I did go to cool math games a lot, especially when I was in college. Like that was one of those things where if I was at my desk and just kind of doing things, or if I was in the computer lab at UK, I was like, all right, let's just kind of play around with this a little bit. Or when I was at KU, either way, like I found a way to get on there and just kind of mess around with things for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
no, cool math games is a big thing at my elementary school. In computer labs and everything, like after assignments were done, people would be playing cool math games all the time. That's where I first started playing BTD, actually, I think.
Smart domain name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I also remember the unblocked games sites where you like unblock games like 33 or whatever, you know. Sometimes they block them anyway.
I think that was part of the reason that Flash games flourished so much. I mean, like you could just play them on a web browser. So like when you had like either school computers or work computers or whatever, like a lot of them had, you know, locked down the desktop, but they hadn't really learned to lock down the internet yet, or at least they hadn't really put in firewall rules to block Flash games. So like it was a huge I won't say gateway drug, but it was a huge gateway into gaming for a lot of people.
For sure. During that period, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I should just. Also, having a domain like that is better than Giant Bomb. So, giantbomb.com, which I love, and have been on there forever. But I worked at this corporation in Overland Park that I probably shouldn't name, to save up money to move to California. And I went to Giant Bomb, you know, like usually in the morning before work, and I literally got called into the manager's office, and they were asking why I was going to. They apparently didn't look at the website. They just asked me if I was going to a website called Giant Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like it's a good thing you weren't long for that job anyway.
Yeah, I was only there for just a little bit, but I just thought it was hilarious. I'm like, no, it's video games, and it's just look at the website, and they're like, I'm not going to giantbomb.com. It's like, oh, okay, very scary. Okay, so next Flash game, and this one I think I'm pretty sure I actually did play on Flash a little bit before it transitioned into console. I should read some of the chat. So Max was saying that he usually goes to the movies alone as well, because most people usually don't want to see what he wants to see, or they're busy. He also talked about Fallout Season 2 being good.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And you finished it up.
Henry Stickmin games were great.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
And he also liked, I loved Learn to Fly. So we're we're all caught up there now. Okay.
Awesome.
So Super Meat Boy. This game, there's a documentary about this whole period of indie game development too, which is kind of interesting. I can't remember what platform it was on. I watched it way back when it first came out. But Super Meat Boy was a fun game. I don't know if I didn't quite get as into it as some folks did, but it was a super, super fun game, and but also super frustrating. So you're just a little thing of meat, and you're trying to navigate basically through these they become very difficult platform levels with some kind of interesting physics that are kind of unique to it. And you can run into a grinder and die very quickly. And it just becomes incredibly difficult. But it is addicting, and it is one of those things where it feels pretty fair for the most part, that when you die, it's like, okay, well, I can try again, and if I, do it better, I can learn to do it better, and I can get through it. So it's not the kind of hard that I would say is too unfair, at least for a lot of it. Some of it gets pretty hairy.
Yeah. Now, Super Meat Boy was a game that I really discovered when it made its way home, like to the Xbox 360 with Xbox Live Arcade. But after discovering that, I think we had the discussion a little bit earlier this evening before we got started. Like, I didn't even realize it was a Flash game. And so it is one of those games, and I've never played the Flash version, but it's tough. It's challenging, but fair. Like, when you mess, you know what you did and you messed up, and you got to try it again better the next round or the next run. So
looks like it's 90% off on Steam.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like, there's a new version, Super Meat Boy Forever, I think, that's out now. That is
I did not
recent. Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. I need to try that one out. I've not played that one yet.
I just some of those later levels got so frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, it's like those not automated Super Mario Maker levels, but it's like you gotta be like pinpoint precision to make it all the way through. Like,
yeah, and
mess up.
At that point, it's just not fun for me. Like, I don't want to do surgery. I just want to play like a platformer.
That's fair. That's fair.
But kudos to the design. Like, I do think it's a well-designed game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. All right, Jack, what's your next one?
All right, so my next one is kind of a later era Flash game, Abobo's Big Adventure. I came to this one, I don't know, maybe 2007, 2008, maybe later than that. But essentially, somebody got the bright idea to take the Abobo model from the NES version of Double Dragon and put him into a platformer / shooter /
oh my god, I want to play this
adventure game. Oh man, it's like the most epic Flash game I've ever played. I think it has a significant size to it, so it was one that actually had to load up for a few minutes before it would actually play. It's all there's all kinds of licensing nightmares in it though. Like, it's definitely an unofficial game. Like, I don't think you could find it a whole bunch of places now. You probably have to watch YouTube playthroughs of it or find it on archive.org or something like that. But you're basically, think of it as like a greatest hits homage to the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh my god!
You play as Abobo. You fight like the dudes from Kung Fu. You go through shooter levels. I want to say Gradius is one of the levels in the game. There's so much nostalgia packed into that thing. It is ridiculous.
This is amazing. I'd never seen this before. It starts out with the Mega Man 2 theme, like our theme.
Yep. No, it is incredible. It's very, from a licensing standpoint, it's very problematic. But as a fan project, it's really cool. It's got a cool story, and it goes a lot of places. If you can find a way to play it, I highly recommend it.
This is really cool. And I found a place you can actually play it.
Nice.
abobosbigadventure.com/fullgame.php.
Nice.
Play it. Don't break any licenses.
You should just check it out. It'll take you maybe a half an hour to make it all the way through, but it's worth it.
It's a great way to test out my 5070. All right. Jess, what's your next one? Oh, yes. Logan, sorry. What's your next one?
You're good. So my next one, I believe
messes me up when the video windows are not in the order of the...
My next one is Dino Run, which I believe I've talked about before. Yeah, it's just a fun little 8-bit style runner with, you've got your little dinosaur sprite trying to escape this massive wall of doom kicked up by the asteroid hitting the planet. You just get to run through this fun little pixel art recreation of what Pixel Jam says that the Jurassic Cretaceous whatever dinosaur period looks like. And there's lots of little fun Easter eggs, like, depending on the difficulty, you've got different like ending paradises you can reach, and sometimes, like, if you're willing to brave like the tunnels in the volcano, you can even find like special ones that you wouldn't normally be able to get to if you were skilled enough to reach those areas and that kind of thing. So it was a fun game to explore.
Very cool. Has anyone else played it?
I have not. I'm
No. So it's on our list
It's got
now.
a blank spot. Yeah.
It's on our list now.
It wasn't on Cool Math or anything like that. I forget exactly how I found it.
I've definitely heard that name before. Some of these, if you search our forums, like if you go back to the forums, which are still there, and you search for some of these names, it's kind of funny because you'll see some of these pop up, like, oh, have you played this? Or like Plants vs. Zombies. There was a Plants vs. Zombies. Like, hey, there's this new thing called Plants vs. Zombies. We should check it out.
Yeah.
It's just funny to, like, I don't know, because it became such a big thing.
Yeah. Dino Run's still kicking a little bit. I mean, like, the old game, I run it on Steam now, but they've got a second game in active development that was crowdfunded that they've been working on for years, and it recently hit the point where they were able to put a lot more resources into it.
Cool.
So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Awesome. All right, Jess, now, what's your next pick?
So since Maximus brought it up, we're going to go ahead and talk about Henry Stickmin,
Ooh.
which is one of my favorites. It's a choose your own adventure kind of situation, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's one of the first like choose your own adventure games that I ever played that like really let you make insane decisions and the very obviously like bad choices.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate when a game lets me be an idiot and then of course immediately punishes me for it. But I love it when like you're able to make the dumb choice.
What could be considered a dumb choice in that game? Because I don't think I've played that one.
So I remember escaping the prison the most, which is the second one. And I want to say that in that one, there was this one situation where, like, you can, and it's been a really long time, so I don't remember the details, but, like, there's one decision you can make to, like, try to get this helicopter to come help you, and he, like, slams into the side of the prison and you die. And then there's, like, a choice later on to, like, do the exact same thing, and the exact same thing happens again. And, like, literally, like, the thing that pops up is, like, what did you expect to happen here?
That's
and
great.
so I really... they were a lot of fun. I think is there 6 of them, I think, maybe in the series?
Dang.
Somewhere around there.
Wow.
And they're all, like, really wacky. It's, like, stick figures, but the characters all still have, like, a whole lot of personality. And, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And I'm a huge, like, Choose Your Own Adventure fan. And so I was a huge fan of those. And... I'm saying, I think Maximus put it in the chat as well, and I think it is correct that the creators of Henry Stickmin went on to do Among Us.
Wow.
Or at least some of them.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, I
That's really cool.
Yeah, overlap.
verified.
There's a ton of references in that game to the Stickmin games.
Yeah. They were, like,
Puffballs
fun.
United Studio.
Yep. But you can get the entire collection on Steam, and like I highly suggest it. It's just a fun, low stakes, funny kind of thing to play through. And I know you get to the end, and like if I'm remembering correctly, you can like choose your world state of like the decisions you've made in the previous games, because like it's all a continuing narrative.
Yeah.
And so there's like a ton of replayability in it. It's just a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Cool.
I'll check those out.
Yeah. Such a cool name, too. For some reason, it reminds me of Harvey Birdman, even though it's not at all the same thing, but just the flow of the title.
Probably 100% less Stephen Colbert, but oh well.
Unless there's a cameo, who knows? AI will put him in there. So the next one I'm going to talk about again was another one that transitioned to console. I did look up to make sure, these were Flash first, and according to the research, they were. But The Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
Was a game that was a lot like the original Legend of Zelda. Very, very different in terms of theme and art style and all that. But in terms of gameplay, it was very similar. And of course, any game that's similar to Legend of Zelda. I have to wear a shirt about something I talk about each time. But any game that's similar to the original Legend of Zelda, I'm of course going to be super stoked on. I remember people talking, "Oh, you got to play it. It's like Zelda." And I saw the screenshots and did not initially like the art style.
Mm-hmm.
But once I played it, it definitely grew on me. And I ended up really liking it. It's one of the more memorable, actually, on this list. To be honest with you, this is probably the most memorable one that I have the most memories of and probably played the most.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac is one of those games I didn't even realize it was a Flash game to begin with. Like, I just remember it from Steam and from just PC releases and console releases. But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool. It's one of the early roguelikes. Like, it's twisted for sure, but it definitely has. It's like a Zelda dungeon crawler and no overworld. Like, there are some really cool and really crazy power ups you can get throughout the game, and the different endings available. And like, I think they've either remade it or released expansions for it like 3 or 4 times since its original release.
Yeah,
but it's got so much to offer. There's a lot of depth there.
Yep, for sure. If you haven't played it, you should check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Again, another Edmund McMillen game, same as Super Meat Boy.
That's right. And you can tell with the art style, too.
Yeah.
Very similar. Nickelodeon is what I would think. All right, Logan, what's your next pick?
Yeah, so my next pick is going to be Pop Tropica, which was a huge game, when I was a kid. You could pick from just a ton of different islands. Like, there was 3 or 4 pages by the time that I stopped playing the game of different islands you could pick, and they were all like various mysteries and like puzzle kind of stories you would play through, and you could meet all kinds of fun characters on those islands. I think that was one of my favorite parts, seeing like the weirdest characters on the island that would do just the most outrageous things and have just strange stories sometimes. And yeah, it was just kind of fun to explore the different locations that they built, all kind of in the Pop Tropica style, because you'd have things from like mythology and like, a Greek mythology themed island to like a survival island where you're out in the wilderness by yourself and you're having to like, find a way to escape with just the things that you find there. There was just a lot of creative stories in that game. I had a lot of fun, spent a lot of time.
Huh.
Cool. Mm-hmm. It's an awesome name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That was
really
a fun one.
nailed the branding for that one, I'd say. Like, the character design was so much fun. I think that was one of the most appealing parts to it, just the art style and the look and the name and everything. Like, the characters just had these like bodies made out of like lines and ovals and like 2 little eyes like stuck on top, and it made for a very iconic and versatile character design, so lots of like customization potential.
That's really
for
cool.
The avatars and everything.
I think I was, I've mentioned some of the ones that I've played, but I think I was just maybe 5 or 6 years ahead of the big Flash boom. Because like a lot of these, it's a complete blind spot for me.
Yeah, I think this one would have been almost a decade behind you.
Probably.
Yeah, because it was newer when I started playing it in like mid elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
This was released March 21st, 2019. Is that right?
Oh.
So it's been through a few refreshes. It's way older than that.
Okay, I kind of figured by what you were saying.
2007.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late 2000s.
Oh, here we go. Initial release date, July 2007.
Mm-hmm. Because I think the 2019 one may have been like a massive port. Because they've reworked the engine both while it was still running on Flash but also to port it off of Flash like a few times.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I think that's my favorite name of the evening.
Nice.
I just want to say that at random times.
I kind of wish some of those like original islands were still around. I'd go back and play them.
Yeah, a lot of the old ones got lost when they
too
moved
bad.
from Flash, and it's like super sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
At least you know how to say it. I've been trying to figure out how to say Pokopia all week. That new Pokemon game.
Yeah, that's a tricky one too.
Language. All right, Jess, what's your next one?
So my next one is the Papa's games, which are a bunch of restaurant management games.
Okay.
It started with Papa's Pizzeria,
Mhm.
and then we ended up with so many of them. There's the Papa's Darria, the Papa's Bakeria, the Papa's Freezeria, which is the one I think I played probably the most. Donuteria. I think there's like a hot doggeria. They really milked it. And I think
sounds like it.
they still are. I think they're still making newer games of it.
Wow.
But it was a really basic kind of setup of you took the orders, and then you had to for the pizza one you had very specific instructions for what the toppings were supposed to be, and then an amount of time that they were supposed to be cooked for, and then you had to cut them into 2, 4, 8 slices.
Yeah.
And then you were ranked on how well you did, and however well you did was how many tips you got for it. And then, more customers would show up, you'd have more that you were juggling. I don't think they had it in the pizzeria one, but I know later on, because you couldn't really do anything with the tips in the pizzeria one, but later on you could start to upgrade the restaurant, and you could put stuff in the waiting room that would make people stay a little bit longer and not get so mad at you for it taking a long time for you to get their stuff, and those kind of things. Very kind of basic restaurant management type thing, but I think it was because it was so simple and it was so easy, and they found that formula and they stuck with it and just did a million iterations with it, and I played most of them.
Wow. That's awesome. It sounds like it's an early version of Cook Serve Delicious, something like that.
Yeah. Also I love the art style of the old Flash games. The eyes were a little bit disconcerting in the Papa's world, because it was
yeah,
you just kind of had a black ring around the eye, and then the center of the eye was remarkably close to skin tone.
No.
So it was a very kind of off-putting, but also really endearing specific art style, and the shape of the character's body was very kind of fun, and just a very nostalgic, highly stylized art style. Which
I like that art style too. A lot of people will say, "Oh, it looks like a Flash game, it's a bad thing," but some of those Flash games look really cool, and I like that aesthetic. It always reminds me of Homestar Runner. Did anyone else? I know Jack,
absolutely.
But did anyone else watch Homestar? Jess, Logan, no. Okay, I think you might like it.
You need to go to homestarrunner.com immediately after we're done here and go watch just block off 3 hours.
It's going to be interesting to see how it hits for you guys. I don't even know if I haven't probably watched it since 2003 or 2002.
Oh, I might have watched that actually. I'm looking it up, and that is triggering something in my memory.
Just strong bad.
I don't actively remember it though.
Strong bad emails. Just go watch all those.
Techno.
Oh, that's my
email.
That's my email comfy place is strong bad.
Oh, we got a good question in the chat here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it says from 8-bit Moss Player. Hello, late to the show. You may have
Yours.
already explained it, but what is a Flash game?
That's a very good question, considering Flash is now dead.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Logan. You can tackle it.
Flash was essentially an engine used for game development and animation
By Macromedia.
and it's later bought by Adobe.
Yep.
Which has been a saga. But it was primarily used like on the internet, but you could run it in desktop applications too. But Flash games were really big on the internet back in the early 2000s and the mid 2010s.
Yep. Starting in the late 90s, like
late
when
90s,
it would
wow.
when it would take like hours to download Flash for me.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, the nice thing about them was you could play them immediately. Like that was the cool thing, especially back during that period where even if you had broadband, it would take a significant amount of time to download a game. So just being able to go there, play a game really quick, and they kind of remind me, I don't know, this could be crazy, but they kind of remind me in style like some of the simpler DOS games from like the 90s, like a similar feel to them. So if you like some of those, you might, and they're preserved, which is nice. Like a lot of these are preserved. But Jess, I just looked up Flash to see what would come up. The popular titles such as Papa's Pizzeria was the title listed.
That was a big one.
They were big. I played them too.
Wow.
They were big.
That's cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of Flash games that are preserved, thankfully. I mean, like people made extensions after Adobe killed Flash to like save the latest version of Flash and allow you to run them. But some of them are still not working, unfortunately. It's like the big ones that got ported or were able to get sustained somehow.
And I'll kind of say too, like there was something about the limitations of the Flash platform. Since it was web-based, like you had to play it in the browser. It made game design very tricky, and also, if you wanted to stand out, you had to be very clever. And so it wound up making some incredibly interesting game design decisions, and you'd see some really cool things that you just didn't get anywhere else. Like there were very few games that used like a keyboard, and most of them were all point and click, or they involved you moving the mouse around and manipulating the mouse some shape or fashion, or clicking on certain things. And so I think over the years, as Flash evolved and got bigger, like there were definitely limitations that brought about a lot of creativity in that space.
And also, just as an aside here, with back to Homestar Runner for a second, that website still operates using a Flash emulator. It's still the same old website from forevs ago. Started in 2000.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that far ago.
Yeah,
I think Q showed me that.
They still put out like a video or two like once a year or maybe twice a year
on YouTube now, not in Flash.
Yeah. But still great. I cannot recommend going and spending an hour or two just watching some of their old stuff, because it is there was a sweet spot of like 2 years where like they were just firing on all cylinders between Strong Bad, the Homestar stuff, Teen Girl Squad. It was
Teen Girl Squad. I forgot about Teen Girl Squad.
Teen Girl Squad. Oh, it was the best.
Oh man, that brings back memory. I literally have not watched that since like at maybe 2004.
Yep.
At like most recent.
Kelly and I will be talking and it'll just be like arrowed. And I'm like, oh no. It just pops up.
Yep. That was one of those things back in the day. You could be like, hey, do you watch Homestar? And you knew you were with someone cool. I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we did.
So yeah, that was cool. All right. We just did.
While we're kind of on the topic of like Flash as an engine, did anybody hear about the recent news relating to Animate, like Adobe Animate?
They were going to tank it.
There was a lot of controversy about that, wasn't there?
But now they're not, right?
They're not, because everybody was angry. But yeah, they were going to kill Animate, which is what Flash turned into after they canceled Flash.
Adobe, I don't know if we want to get into it now, but Adobe is really been terrible in so many ways, from a company perspective as also like a software perspective. Premiere was like what most people learned on for a very long time, and was used for a lot of like commercial applications and like documentaries and stuff like that, and even a couple like bigger movies, and it's terrible now. Like absolutely terrible. I needed students to launch it in class. Half of them froze and would not launch.
So, I mean, obviously this is kind of off topic, but like, what do you use now? Because like Final Cut's gone.
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
It's great.
No, I love DaVinci. No, I actually went to a conference and saw Resolve a long time ago, and DaVinci's always been great for color, but not so much for editing. But now I would say like it's definitely the thing to use. And there's a free version that is good. It's not as fast because it doesn't utilize your GPU for editing. And doesn't have some other things, but it's great. It's great. I still prefer Avid because I love the trimming, but anyone getting into editing, I would definitely, like, without a hesitation, recommend Resolve.
Huh, that's
No
cool. I'll have
question.
to check that out because, like, yeah, like I was always, it was Premiere or it was Final Cut, and that's about it.
Yeah, and Premiere was great because they actually poached a bunch of the really awesome Final Cut developers. So Premiere for a while was basically what Final Cut used to be when Apple was like, you know what, let's destroy Final Cut.
Yeah.
And they did. And although some people really like it still, I that's my least favorite. I would put that like slightly above Premiere. DaVinci like light years above Premiere. And then I'd still put Avid up there. Although, again, if you're just like starting, I would definitely suggest going with Resolve because I think it's where everything's going. And for color correction, it can't be beat.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, early in class, I gave this same speech in class today. I was like, okay, now enough with the Resolve commercial. Let's move on. But I really like that software. Who went last? We talked about a bunch of other things. It was Jess, wasn't it?
Jess went last.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty sure. Okay. So Plants vs. Zombies, the actual game, definitely started on console. But they had a promo before that was Flash. And that was what I played. And it didn't have the whole thing on there, and but it was really just kind of a promo. But I remember playing that way back in the day, and thinking it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then getting that game on, I think, iPad. One of the early iPad games I think I got.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense that started out as like as a Flash
iPad
game.
or an iPhone game, yeah.
It was a promo. Like they definitely had already were in development or close to end of development for the regular version. It was the promo.
It has like a related art style though. If we're talking,
it definitely looks. It definitely looks like a Flash game. Yep. People would say that back in the day too, like it was a bad thing.
Well, again, limitations. It had required things to look a certain way. So
I love limitations are so important for creative people. I think we hate them, but they're good for us. They're our vegetables.
Love-hate relationship.
Yep.
Ever try to be creative when you have no restrictions? It's hard.
That was the worst.
I've never had that.
It's impossible.
That luxury of not having restrictions.
That's why I like working in IT. It's like, hey, you only have this much money, and you've got to figure this thing out. So like,
you gotta be creative.
Yep.
All right, Logan.
Yep.
What's your next pick? Or wait, no, Jack.
Second time you skipped me. Dang.
Hey!
I have no excuse for that one. I have no
it's
excuse.
All right. It's all right. No, so my next one I'm going to talk about is Quap. I don't know how many of you have played Quap, but like it is a game by Bennett Foddy, who is infamous now for his Quap type games. But think about, just the Q, W, O, and P on your keyboard all handle like a piece of your legs.
My guy fell.
Like, yeah. Oh no, your guy falls like 99% of the time, and like there's something about just trying to make the man run like even two steps. It feels like it's a huge accomplishment. And so I've seen people that got good enough at Quap to like run across the entire track and like go for speed records. I've also seen people that are just happy to get across the finish line, and so they will like meticulously press the QWOP in like a ridiculous measured pace. But there's something about Quap that is at the same time frustrating and beautiful. that I think it definitely secured Bennett Foddy as a, I won't say a household name, but as a known developer who parlayed that into games like Getting Over It and other stuff. But like, man, Quap is kind of the originator for that stupid, like, frustrating style of like, here's the mechanic, deal with it kind of game.
I just quapped
Oh, and it
backwards.
was so
I couldn't
awful.
quap forwards.
It was so awful, and it was like such a simple thing to cause so much rage inside of you.
Well,
Because
because
it
it's like
you should be able to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's like,
what I
the
was
hard
gonna say.
is my legs do this all the time. Nope.
Nope. Well, how ingenious to like separate the calves, and everything. What does quap stand for?
No, it's just hey, we use the Q, the W, and the O and the P, so it was called Quap.
Imagine naming your game after your control scheme.
Yep.
Gotcha. Wasted.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say Wasty, so like I'm just still waiting for that game to come out.
Make it. We should bake it. I love that response. All right. Logan, what's your next one?
Yeah, so my next one is Fireboy and Water Girl, which that one is a really cool little puzzle flash game series where you have two player characters, one being Fireboy and one being Water Girl, and they had different powers and could interact with the level in different ways. So you would move them. You could only control one at a time, if I remember correctly. So you had to really think like, what did you want this character to do? Which traps and like puzzle elements that you want them to trigger to enable the other character to do what they needed to do and that kind of thing. And it was really cool. It actually inspired a little project, a little game I made as a game jam project. Wanted to play with like the two character concept. I just remember it being a really engaging flash game.
That's cool.
Cool. This one I do
was a lot of
remember
fun.
seeing.
Yeah,
It's a,
that was
like
on
the,
cool math.
yeah. Someone I think sent me a link, but I like the visual style.
It definitely had a unique visual style compared to a lot of the other Flash games.
And like if I
Sure.
would have been a kid going on Cool Math and I saw something called Fireboy and Water Girl, I probably would have clicked it. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was. They had good level design. Like between the art style and the level design, it was a very polished experience.
8-Bit Moss Playa says completely missed Flash. Looks like the Alien Hominid makers aesthetic looks interesting. Yes, Alien Hominid was a Flash game
Yeah.
until it eventually moved over. That was one of the ones. That's my favorite of all time.
Yeah. And those guys, again, we talked about it earlier, but those guys were masters at using the art style to its fullest.
For sure. All right, Jess, what's your next one?
I feel like you can't talk about Flash games without at least bringing up Happy Wheels. Because that was such a, like... It became such a big community thing because of the ability to make levels and then how many, like, YouTubers of, like, very high stature got into playing it.
Oh, okay.
And there was something that was just so charming about the ragdoll physics paired with the copious amounts of blood and guts and violence that just really worked. And it was such a big deal for like an amount of time on the internet. And I don't even think that I played it all that much. But a bunch of the YouTubers that I watched played it, and like everyone was talking about it when it came out, and it just became this huge, like, more interactive, community-based thing than most Flash games were, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Happy Wheels.
It looks a lot like Trials, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a ridiculous crowd-sourced version of Trials with, like you said, a lot more blood and guts.
Trials was fun.
Trials is pretty great. I'll have to try Happy Wheels. I love Trials. I will sit there and play Trials for like hours, even though I've completely beaten those games. Like,
It's one of those
forward and backwards.
Yeah, it's one of those time suck games for sure. I will try Happy Wheels too. Okay. So, my next one, Super Mario 63. Anyone else play Super Mario 63?
No.
Oh,
No?
I played a little bit of it.
Oh, Jess. Okay. Nice. I'm glad I'm the only one. But it was, an attempt at making a Mario platformer in Flash. Not the most refined platformer, and there was a lot of mushy gameplay. I don't know. I would say it's mushy in the way, but ultimately kind of a fun way to get, run around with Mario, get a couple shines. And especially like if you're in a place at the time where you couldn't play like a Mario game, it gave you the ability to play something kind of fun online. So Nintendo, I'm sure, loved it.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's got to be better than Super Mario Special, right?
Wait, what's Super Mario Special?
I haven't talked about Super Mario Special on here yet.
No.
Oh my
No, not
gosh.
yet.
Oh, dude. So the PC-88.
Oh. Yeah, keep going.
It's a Super Mario Brothers officially licensed game that was made by Hudson Soft for the PC-88. It is... I want to be nice here. It is astoundingly bad. They somehow mixed the original Mario Brothers with Super Mario Brothers, and it doesn't scroll. It just goes screen to screen. And the physics are messed up because the timing on the PC-88's CPU is messed up. So not only is it a very odd Super Mario game to begin with, but it's also incredibly challenging and unfair because you're at the mercy of the CPU of the PC-88, whether or not the game runs at full speed or not. And it there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just kind of fluctuates up and down, and it is. I recommend you go check it out. Don't play it, God, don't play it. But you should watch some people on YouTube play it. It looks like Super Mario Brothers, but it does not play like there are like fighter flies from the original Mario Brothers in it. There are the crab dudes from the original Mario Brothers. It's an oddity for sure. It is. You should watch some video of it, but for the love of God, don't try to play it.
That's gotta be like one of the only Super Mario Bros. Games that ever appeared on a non-Nintendo console or like a non-iPhone or like mobile device.
I mean, it's that and like the CDI.
Yeah, you know about the CDI, right, Logan?
I didn't know that there was a Super Mario game on the CDI.
Hotel Mario, man.
Okay.
You should check it out. It's a masterful game design there.
It's so awful. Did
So
they make
worth-
Mario is missing
Oh
for that?
wait, no, never mind. I've seen
So
clips from that.
worth making Sony an enemy forever.
Yeah.
Mario was missing, by the way. Biggest disappointment of a rental ever.
I don't know, man. I got what was the follow-up? The Mario in Time, or
I never played it.
I can't remember what the name of that one was. Mario's Time Machine.
I was so mad because you didn't get to rent like another game for like a while, so like I was stuck with Mario was missing, and it was such a pile of crap. It was so bad.
Yep. Say, hey, it looks like Super Mario World. Oh wait.
Nope. Similar sprites. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right. Jack, did you get to go into yours yet? I think we talked
No,
about
not
Super
yet.
Mario 63 and we tangented.
No, it's all right. Yeah, so my last one that I'm going to talk about, if I don't know if we're going to get another round of this, but the last one I want to talk about is probably the most next to Abobo's Big Adventure in my mind is the most epic Flash game on the internet to this day, and that is Frog Fractions. Has anybody on this podcast played Frog Fractions?
I would have never played anything with fractions in the title.
Oh my god. You have to go play Frog Fractions. I think you can get it on Steam. There's a Frog Fractions bundle.
Game of the Decade Edition.
So Frog Fractions was you just need to play it. It presents as one thing and then it turns into something completely different, and it kind of goes off the rails real quick. You should go play it. It doesn't take long for it to kind of reveal what it actually is. But it goes places. And if you see it all the way through to the end, it's pretty incredible. And you're like, what the hell did I just play? But you should go check out Frog Fractions. That's all I will say. I will not say anything else. And if you like Frog Fractions, go play Glittermitten Grove, because it's another game from the same developer that is similar. Very
So it
similar.
starts out like it's a teaches type of game. That
I mean, it presents as one thing and then turns into something completely different. Yes.
okay.
You should play.
Interesting. Okay. I will frog the fraction. I would never play a game with fractions in it though.
Yeah, no, and again, it wasn't even, I was just like, why would I want to play this? And I found out about it in like 2012, 2013. Yeah, it blew my mind. I did not think a Flash game could get that in depth.
Cool. Exciting. All right. Well, Logan, what's your most likely last one of the evening?
Yeah, so my last one is Duck Life 4, which I've also mentioned Duck Life on the show before, but I've been playing Duck Life since Duck Life 1, and 4 really...
Life of a duck.
Yeah.
I like that sentence. I've been playing Duck Life since Duck Life 1.
Yes. So the whole premise of the series is that you are feeding ducks and raising them to become champion racers.
As you do.
That's a great...
Yes. And you know, you've been through various levels. Like Duck Life 3 took a weird turn where you were like evolving the ducks. Yep.
Very disturbing.
Duck Life 4, I think peaked with the mechanics because they gave you a farm. And for the first time you could raise like a team of up to 6 ducks, so you could like raise different ducks with different appearances, and obviously customization is always going to be a winner. And this, they had taken all of their lessons from Duck Life 1, 2, and 3 and applied it into 4, and it was just perfect Duck Life experience.
This is my favorite.
Life's amazing.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that just hit me so hard. It's
No,
just
Me
like,
too. And then once Jack got going, I could not go.
it's like, well, they learned a lot of lessons in Duck Life 2, which they applied to 3 and 4, but Duck Life
All
1
the Duck Lives.
still the definitive experience.
All
No,
the Duck
I'm
Lives.
joking, but like that is pretty awesome. I have to check those out.
It does make me want to play it though,
Yeah.
to see
Duck
the
Life-
evolution of the Duck Lives.
Yeah, Duck Life 4 is definitely definitive for me. Duck Life 1 is probably my second favorite, just because it's like, you know, very trimmed down, very classic. But then after that, it's Duck Life 3, and like Duck Life 2 is basically just like a slightly bigger version of Duck Life 1. So, you know, they're figuring it out.
8-bit Moss Player says peak Duck Life.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think now I know how you all feel whenever I start talking about Yakuza games.
There you go.
This is the Yakuza Flash games.
I want a Duck Life shirt.
That would be amazing.
On the back, Duck Life 4 was everything Duck Life 2 should have been.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I saw videos of Duck Life when doing research for the Flash games, so it does look cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
But more cool was hearing you talk about it.
Thank you.
All right, Jess, what's your last pick?
You know, I'm actually going to pivot because the last 2 conversations have made me think of a different one. And I'm not going to give too much of it away because the ending of it is like kind of the point. And it kind of leans into the more disturbing aspects that we tended to see a lot in Flash games. And this one was a little bit later too. But did anybody play Can Your Pet?
No.
Nope.
Don't look anything up about it and just play it.
Okay.
Because similar to the frog fraction thing, you think it's going to be something, and then it turns into something different. And I remember when it came out, it was like this really big thing, especially with a bunch of like YouTubers and streamers of like people getting them to play it and then waiting for like what the reveal of it all is. But if you can avoid any of the spoilers for it and just go into it blind, it is a wild ride.
Can Your Pet?
Can Your Pet?
Okay. Let's check it out.
Can your pet? Are you putting it in a can, or is it like asking a question of the ability of your pet?
It's can your pet.
Oh,
Can,
boy.
can your
Okay.
pet.
Makes me think
All
like
right.
I'm putting it in
My
like a
pet
mason
can.
jar type can.
You get to. It's kind of like not kind of like. It's got some similar overlap to the duck life, which is why like it brought it up for me. Of like you get this like little pet that you're taking care of, and there's all this stuff to it, which is what made me think of it. But it's got that like classic like left turn thing that I think a lot of Flash games did really
boy.
well and were enjoyable.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I'm excited.
Awesome. Can your pet? All right, that's a good one. That's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Jack, besides Duck Life, what are you gonna be doing this week?
You mean Can Your Pet? I'm gonna play Can Your Pet too.
Besides Can Your Pet?
So this weekend is pretty big. It's the Cupid's Undie Run here in KC. So I looked at the forecast right before we got in here. This Saturday, it is supposed to be 51 but rainy. So
Ooh.
I'm going to be running around downtown KC in my undies in the rain for charity. So I've put a link up in the Discord for anybody that's over there. If you want to donate, feel free. Any amount you want to donate is awesome. It goes to help kids and the Children's Tumor Foundation. Other than that, maybe tomorrow night or Friday night, I'll probably stream some more Resident Evil 2. I've been doing a
Yeah,
Resident
that's
Evil
been awesome.
retrospective to get ready for Resident Evil Requiem, which is
Very
coming out later
cool.
this month. And I've made it past the first encounter with Dr. Birkin and just fought off Mr. X for a little while, and I'm remembering how much backtracking there is in that game. Like there's a lot of going back and forth in that game. But it is really fun, and I'm glad I'm playing it again. And like, man,
It's fun to watch.
Just all the nostalgia beats are coming back, even if I don't remember the game completely.
And Logan, what are you gonna be doing this week?
Yeah. This week, Aiden is dropping by to give me his broken computer, and I'm going to be troubleshooting his computer. There's a lot going on with that thing. I mean, it literally, he'll boot it up and he'll just get a black screen that just says OS not found.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is it a Mac?
Yeah. No, it's a Windows.
Okay.
Yeah, and it also, I think he said that the components should not physically fit inside the case, but the original builder made them fit anyway, so we're going to try to deal with that problem. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of an adventure.
Sounds like it. Although it could be super easy. It could just be a bad MBR file that could be a really easy fix if you know what to look for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
I
BIOS
will look into
updates
that.
will fry that too.
Yeah.
You
Gotcha.
can fix it. So
I
Yeah,
will
good
look
luck.
into a bad MBR file. That is not a thing I've encountered yet. But
well, hope it's that, because that wouldn't be too bad.
sure, yeah. I found out that you can like recover file. I don't have like a SATA like external hard drive reader or anything, so if it comes to like needing to like scrape the data off the drive or something, I'll have to get one. But I found out that as long as your drive isn't corrupted, but you're still not able to boot, you could get like a bootable Linux USB and copy the files off the drive
Yes,
that way.
get
I
a-
did that recently.
Yeah.
Bootable
Yeah.
Linux USB.
Yeah. As long as the drive doesn't have like, encryption on it. Yes.
So this ghostly figure here is awesome. Okay, it's got SATA, IDE,
Wow.
two different kinds of IDE actually in SATA. You can just really easily, and different types of power as well. And you can very easily connect just about anything to it in a pinch.
Yeah, I'll probably have to eventually get one of those. I'm hoping to not need
Unitech.
to for Aiden's computer, but we'll see.
Make him invest in it for your troubleshooting needs.
Probably should.
And Jess, what are you gonna be doing this week?
Just a lot more of the same. I have set myself a accelerated work schedule for the next 2 weeks because I'm hoping to get far enough ahead on things that when the new Resident Evil comes out, I can sit down and get through it in the weekend and have nothing else to do. So that's the goal, which means I need to write 30 to 40-ish pages a week for the next 2 weeks. That's my plan, is to just lock in so that I can have fun when the game comes out.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to be getting excited for Jeremy Parish next week and doing some fun testing of a bunch of various stuff. So with that said, I'll see you same time next week on the game show.